as the beautiful Kelly Rowland just alluded to in one of her most recent interviews, access to housing is one of the greatest obstacles that we face as people of color in this country to obtaining any type of generational wealth. I'm sure we've all had a friend or an acquaintance outside of our community with the story of Aunt Sally bought some land in 1963 for $17,000. Now it's worth $700,000 and she left it for me and my siblings to split. And then you think to yourself, this scenario isn't necessarily prevalent within my community. A lot of us have seen our families be subjected to a lifetime of renting. And sadly, this is a common story for the vast majority of people of color in America. And the disparities that we see reflected in the stats have deep-rooted historical ties. In response to the Great Depression, Franklin Delano Roosevelt implemented what we know and recognize now as the New Deal, or the New Deals rather, because there were several policies. These policies gave mortgage credits to Americans, but they limited access based on location and risk. Black and brown people were also gatekept from buying property or land outside of the risky zone due to the common belief that if they moved into other areas, it would bring down the property value. And as a result, redlining was birthed in America. I don't think people understand this, but redlining is exactly how it sounds. The FHA quite literally highlighted areas that were predominantly inhabited by people of color as red and denied them services accordingly. Furthermore, these inherently discriminatory practices are not far removed. The Fair Housing Act was not codified into U.S. code until 1968, some short 56 years ago. Some of y'all's moms, grandmoms likely lived through this. And since the passing of the Fair Housing Act, we haven't seen a significant change. In 1965, 38% of Black people owned homes. As of 2022 reportings, 44.1% of Black people own homes. So a 6.1% difference. Not acceptable. I stand by my motto. If you want answers to a social or political question, look to history and you'll be able to get the information that you need. Now, to be fair, technically there are no laws or legislation barring Black people from home ownership, but we deal with a host of other things now. Gentrification, recidivism, being denied housing due to said recidivism, racial wage disparities, and a whole host of other things. They're all linked and compounding. I wholeheartedly believe that we are stronger at our core as a nation when we vote in a way that benefits the collective. Policies like tax breaks for new families, funding to help first-time home buyers, student loan relief are all equitable structures that all Americans should want to see because it directly benefits the class of people who have the biggest impact on the economy. Lastly, I would like to thank Watering Hole Media for sponsoring this video and choosing me to be a part of the team. I'm so grateful and so honored. I'm excited to collaborate and be a part of the change here in America. So once again, thank you. Good night, everybody.